The tactic I'm about to share with you guys will change the way you play FIFA forever. So make sure to stay tuned. Yes people, welcome back to the channel. But before we get right into the video, I just want to say I have a Twitch. If you like the content here on YouTube, you can also check me out on twitch.tv/MoTheGoat. Other than that, let's get right into the video, man. The formation I'm going to use, hear me out, is the 4-4-2. And don't you dare call me boring. I honestly think this formation is amazing this year. The reason for this formation is I've tried a lot of other formations. I don't think a cam is needed as much this year. I think in other years a cam was definitely needed. I think this year wingers provide genuine value. So for the defensive style, I've chosen press after possession loss. And simply because most of the time you're going to lose the ball around his defense, yeah? Now, if you press as a 4-4-2, as a collective, you're getting that ball back straight away. As soon as you lose the ball, your strikers are pressing that man. So he's got two options: either try to play out from the back or else pass it all the way back to the keeper and clear it. Now, playing it out from the back for him is going to be very risky. Unless he's a really good player, he's not coming out of that. Like 9 times out of 10, you're actually going to win the ball back straight away. And that's exactly what we want. We want to keep the pace fast. We don't want him to be keeping the ball. Those front four with your midfielders are so vital for this press. So for the width, we want to keep it at 45. We don't want to go too low, because if he's got wingers, it just allows them to just run all day and night, man. And you know how everyone is this year. Everyone loves their fast wingers, so everyone of course is going to be running down the wing a lot. The reason why we keep the width relatively low is because we want our opponent to go in the wide areas. We do not want them to be in our midfield. Now, we're making sure that our midfield is cutting all those passes off so that you can win the ball back straight away. So for our depth now, we want to keep our depth high, because we don't want our midfielders our strikers to be pressing and then figuring out that our centre backs are having a threesome with our goalkeeper. Yeah, we want to make sure that our depth is high so that we can also press high. It just puts more pressure on your opponent to play fast football. We want to win the ball back fast as possible so that we can go again and again and again and again and again and again until that whistle blows. Now let's talk about the attacking side of things. Right, so this has taken me a bit of time, but I've played all of the other different styles and I can just say that it doesn't feel right for the play style that I'm trying to do. I'm trying to sort of, you know, balance it out. Well, as it clearly says, it's balanced. They're both balanced. It's because if you play possession football, there's going to be times where you want to just counter-attack, man. And if you have possession, no one's going to run. Literally, no one's going to run. Now, if you have a fast build-up, everyone's going to run. And sometimes you're winning 2-1 in the 80th minute. Last thing you need is for your team to be running away from you because they're chasing for more goals. What we want to do is control the pace of the game. If we want to go fast, we go fast. If we want to go slow, we go slow. If we want to mix it up in between, then we can mix it up in between if we have balance. As it even says that right there, players will support and make runs when they think it's the right time to do so. Now this year, I'm not gonna lie, the AI is actually all right. Those AIs are making runs at the right time, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But it's just having that option, that balance of, oh, sometimes he's gonna make a run, sometimes he's not. He's gonna hold back, keep it, come short. It's just a variety, and that's what we want. We want to confuse our opponent. We don't want to keep spamming over the top through balls constant. If we want to do an over the top through ball, cool, let's do it. If we want to string 20 passes together before we go in behind, let's do it. Why not? Now the width, I put it at 70 just because it's very important for both attacking and defending. Actually, the first thing they're gonna do is run, and obviously if they're starting from wide areas, they're probably most likely everyone's gonna mark man for man. It's going to be a little space in the middle for a brief moment that your opponent can take advantage of. But as I said, because you're pressing it, he has to get that pass perfect. And this year, passing is the hardest it's ever been. The plays in the box, I have it 8 out of 10. Simply because, once again, if we want to cross, why not cross? And obviously, we know how jammy FIFA is. For example, say you get tackled in the box. Because we have such a high number of people in the box, we're probably going to intercept the pass back and score. Let's use it to our advantage. And corners and free kicks maxed out. I'm not going to lie, I haven't won too many free kicks to be crossing in for corners. Now, there's a lot of different types of corners you can take this year. Bear in mind, if you have a lot of people in the box for corners, it actually pushes most of his team back as well. It doesn't allow many counterattacks to happen. Most likely, there's only going to be one attacker that's going to be outside the box ready for a counterattack. And most likely, you're going to have 1 or 2 defenders back. So, you know, it kind of also helps you in a way to have less options. So for example, if you had 2 out of 5, I think your opponent would have like 3 people outside the box ready to counterattack. So just bear that in mind. Obviously it's to your preference, it's not the end of the world. Now, don't mind the team too much. I was just having some fun in division rivals. For my 2 strikers, obviously right now I have 2 target men, but I prefer having 1 target man and 1 sort of a really good dribbler, passer, and obviously type shooter as well. So like a false 9. Great example would be daaaaaaaaaaaaaay. I think Dybala on that left striker spot as a false 9 tactic is absolutely beautiful. He makes runs for me if I want to. He holds runs. He sort of just plays, you know, he does different types of movements that, you know, if you had someone on getting behind wouldn't do. If you had a striker on getting behind, literally all they're gonna do is run, go offside, come back, run, go offside, come back, run, go offside, come back. But with a false 9, you just kind of get everything, you know. You just does what he wants. If he wants, he goes wide. If he wants, he comes all the way back to the centre back. Sometimes it can go wrong, but obviously the AI is good enough to understand, you know, where he's meant to be. Now, my other striker, for example, Dzeko in this case, he's on stay central and a target man, just because I think there's definitely value in having a target man this year. As you can see where Di Maria is right now, I have him on cut inside and nothing else. Get them on cut inside just simply because it just allows, it's an extra player in the middle. I always recommend having 1 that's a holding midfielder and 1 that's a box to box midfielder. Now Locatelli is my holding midfielder in this example. I have him on cover center, stay back while attacking, and stay on edge of the box for crosses. When you're pressing after possession, if you do not have your holding midfielder on stay back while attacking, he can honestly push all the way to where the strikers are, and he can just leave massive gap in midfield. He's able to get me a lot of passing lanes. He's able to sort of cover that center, you know, because when you press, there could be gaps, but because you have him on cover center alongside the other midfielder, there's not going to be much gaps in the middle, and it's going to force your opponent to go wide. Now Pogba, he's my box to box, my attacking midfielder, you know, the one I trust with my attacking plays. Now I have him on get forward and cover center. That's it. I like having one of my midfielders on get forward just because, again, it's just an extra option when attacking. You know, at the end of the day, you just don't want to attack with just your 2 strikers and wingers. That's a bit boring. Now with this one, you can tinker it to your preference, because I've realized that obviously I'm using Kostic here. Kostic is not really a dribbler. He's got decent dribbling stats, but obviously it's because he's got 3-star skill moves and obviously 2-star weak foot, so I can't really tell him to cut inside. You know, I'm using his stats to an advantage. For example, the man's got like 92 crossing, so we'll tell him to stay wide. He's quite strong. He can defend quite well, so it actually helps out my left back, and obviously it helps me press a lot more, because if he goes on that left hand side, I'm most likely going to get the ball a lot earlier. Finally, for my fullbacks, I have Alexandro on overlap. As I said, like, once again, just an extra option. Now make sure you don't put get forward on your fullbacks, just because they overcommit, and once again, we're already gonna press, we're already gonna attack with high intensity. We definitely do not want our fullbacks to be just running forward all day, just because, number one, they're gonna get tired. Most fullbacks this year don't have the greatest of stamina, and also it just leaves you exposed, you know what I'm saying? Obviously Trent will also have overlap, but now what makes my right side so powerful is the fact that, if you remember, I have Di Maria on cut inside. That means Trent has got the whole wing to himself, and obviously your center backs on default, and obviously your goalkeeper on default, just because it is what it is. And that's about it. So if you like the video, make sure you subscribe, and also I'm doing a Harry Maguire Road to Glory, so if you'd like to check that out, the link to that video is right here. Other than that, have a good fucking day.